This month on Mustang Magazine, the town of Norwood lights up the holidays, students make cards for kids in the hospital, we visit a dog wash at the Aggie, and we break down a hockey play with Junior 3 sport athlete Allie McDonough. All this and more on our December edition of Mustang Magazine.
Hello, and welcome to the show. I'm Juliana O'Neill.
And I'm Joey Demaray. Mustang Magazine is a show produced by broadcast journalism students at Norwood High School.
To start the show, we go back to the beginning of the holiday season to catch up with the Madrigals spreading holiday cheer at local elementary schools. Here's Jenny Carroll and Isabel Haglin with the story.
The NHS Madrigals visited local elementary school students last month as a part of their annual tradition to spread Christmas cheer.
This is my first time, so I'm pretty excited to see all the little kids and see how happy they are. Because when I was a little kid, I saw them perform, so I'm excited to be performing for them. Seeing them walk in, I'd look at them as they were like celebrities. So
as part of the visit, the Madrigals sang all the classics. Senior Madrigal Maddie Flores says she thinks the visit had a positive impact on the kids.
I think that when they see us, they want to be in the group, and it makes them look up to us even more and be like, wow, they're high schoolers, they're singing to us, it's so great. I feel like they're really impacted.
Madrigal director Jennifer Hartnett says it's also great for recruiting.
I think it affects them huge. I have kids that come up every single year and say that they want to be a Madrigal because the experience was magical to them. So a lot of them remember it. I'm sure a lot of kids here remember when they were younger that they went and sang for them and they were in their pretty dresses. And
Flores says the Madrigals spent several weeks practicing to sing for the kids. She says she just loves the opportunity to interact with them.
They sing with us, and they get so happy because the Christmas season, they want presents, and they all sing along with us, so it's really fun.
Flores and Cropper agree that Rudolph is definitely a favorite.
Miss Harnett, she was always you definitely don't know this song, so don't be upset. And then we start singing, they're like, I know this one, all that stuff, so it's really fun. It's a pretty fun, upbeat duo song.
Check out the Madrigals in their upcoming performances. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Isabel Hagland.
Thanks, girls. It's always nice to spread the holiday spirit.
Next, we catch up with some Norwood residents who are also spreading the holiday spirit by honoring veterans for Christmas. Megan Sopel and Maddie McMahon bring us the story.
George Curtis's father is a Vietnam veteran buried at the Highland Cemetery in Norwood. He says it's important to honor soldiers like his dad, especially during the holidays.
Veterans give a lot, they sacrifice, they miss birthdays and Christmases and holidays and special events with their families.
That's why this holiday season, Norwood resident Andrea Reed helped organize an event to remember the veterans that are no longer with us.
So Wreaths Across America is a national event where the wreaths are set out on the different military graves across America.
And Reed says it wasn't a difficult decision to get involved.
So Norwood is very special to me. I graduated with George Curtis. His father is the most highly decorated veteran in the cemetery, so it's important to me.
The wreaths were placed at the graves in a ceremony in mid-December. Norwood resident Janine David says she heard about the event online.
They were looking for volunteers, and my husband is buried in this veterans section.
Residents like Curtis and Reed add that Norwood's deep history of military veterans makes it a good match for this type of event.
And we're very proud people in Norwood, and we like to, celebrate that stuff.
If you look around the cemeteries, we almost covered every single veterans plot today, so it's very impressive, and I have a lot of respect for the town of Norwood for all the donations and everything they've done.
So while the Wreaths Across America event is now over, organizers say it's not a one-time thing and will definitely be back next year. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Megan Sopel.
Thanks, guys. For more information about Wreaths Across America, visit www.wreathsacrossamerica.org. Staying with the holiday theme, I recently caught up with some residents who are starting a new holiday tradition on the town common. The town of Norwood started a new holiday tradition this year by adding a menorah to the common. Holocaust survivor and Norwood business owner Aaron Greenfield lit the first candle.
When I lighted the menorah in front of so many people that happened to be not Jewish, I was very happy about it, that I could be in the open for it.
The idea to light a menorah in town came from Rabbi Mendy Horowitz of the Chai Center of Canton. He and his wife Rivka say Norwood was very supportive of the request.
Unbelievable. I mean, this town is incredible. Norwood is called the towniest town, and I can just see why. There was such positive support.
And with the recent shooting in a Pittsburgh synagogue, Rabbi Horowitz says it's important to show that light overpowers darkness.
Our objective tonight was to remember their lives and show how we continue where they left off and continue adding light and peace and blessing into this world through acts of goodness and kindness.
Greenfield said he never expected a menorah lighting ceremony in Norwood, mainly because there just aren't a lot of Jewish folks who live in town.
It was a pleasant surprise because you want to tell the story and more people hear about it, they will understand that we have a religion, we are people like any other people.
Norwood Selectman Paul Bishop says the idea to put the menorah on display in the common next to the Catholic creche was an easy choice.
We have to learn in this world to be a better, kinder, gentler person and respect the people to our left and to our right and try to get along in life as best we can. So wouldn't it be a good idea if we put the Jewish menorah and the Catholic creche together as a sign of unity and solidarity against hatred?
In the end, Aaron Greenfield was happy with how the event turned out.
It was beautiful, and I myself was surprised because I didn't expect anything like it.
Organizers say they hope they've started a new Hanukkah tradition in Norwood. To support the cause, you can visit www.jewishcanton.com for more information. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Juliana O'Neill.
Nice work.
Thanks, and a special shout out to Anthony Scavato for helping me with that story.
Next, we head over to the Norfolk Agricultural High School, commonly known as the Aggie, for a look at a very popular annual fundraiser run by students in the Kennel Club.
Reporter Jenny Puzzi and photographer Cam McDonough take us to the dog wash.
There were plenty of dirty dogs at the Norfolk Aggie last month as students from the school's Kennel Club held a fundraiser to get them clean.
It's kind of hectic throughout the day, but it's a good experience to get to work with dogs in this chaotic environment.
Kennel Club President Hope Andrew is part of the Canine program at the Norfolk County Agricultural School. She has been participating in the annual dog wash since she was a freshman. Last year, she says the club washed, clipped, and dried more than 20 dogs an hour.
Last year we groomed 115 dogs in the 5 hours, so this year we'll probably I'm hoping for over 100. Usually, like myself, I'll groom probably 6 or 7 dogs.
More than a dozen volunteers from the Kennel Club were on hand for this year's event. Some alumni even showed up to help out.
Oh, this is my favorite place in the world. I would never miss the dog wash a day in my life. It's the best.
Kennel Club advisor Jessica Lemus says the dog wash fundraising tradition started more than a decade ago in order to raise money for a special field trip.
A bunch of kids wanted to go to the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, and it's a really expensive trip to go to New York City, so they said, let's have a dog wash.
And 15 years later, the annual dog wash event is now heavily anticipated by the community.
And it's so popular that we have people start calling a couple weeks before we have it every year to get in here and get their dogs washed before Christmas.
And while owners are usually happy when their dogs are clean, the dogs, on the other hand, aren't always excited to get a bath.
We try to make it as fun for them, and it's nice that we're all young, because most dogs just really love young people, and so they're like, oh yeah, it's a party, let's just get washed.
Organizers say this year's fundraiser was a great success, and it should help the Kennel Club afford their trip to New York City for the Westminster Dog Show. But dog washes and dog shows aside, these students from the Aggie say they're proud to be part of the Canine program.
Just know that I want to work with animals in the future, be a dog trainer, own a small business, so this school will help me get there.
For more information about the Norfolk County Agricultural School, or to see when the next dog event is being held, visit norfolkaggie.org. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Jenny Puzzi.
Thanks guys, and good luck to the Aggie Kennel Club on reaching their goal of getting to New York.
Next, we meet an NHS musician whose guitar skills have grown a lot over the years, thanks to an inspiring teacher.
Julie Salvaggio reports from the Sentience Art of Teaching School in Canton.
I play a lot of rock, a lot of metal, a lot of the harder stuff.
Liam Fogarty has been playing guitar for 10 years now. He first got the idea one day after watching his dad and uncle.
The day after that, I came home, I said, Dad, I want to take guitar lessons, and I've been doing it ever since.
Fogarty isn't self-taught. He actually had the same teacher since the beginning.
I couldn't tell you in a few days how much. He's the best. There's nothing he can't teach me.
Fogarty's teacher is Bernard Bergenheyer. He gives his lessons from Ancient Art of Teaching, which he opened in 2014.
I knew Bernard before he started his own business, and I had been taking lessons with him then, but when Bernard started his own thing, there was no question in my mind I was going with him.
Bergenheyer says he's enjoyed mentoring Fogarty over the years.
I've seen Liam grow in so many wonderful ways. When I met him, you know, he was very small. He had a little guitar. And now he's, I think, taller than I am.
Fogarty says his collection of guitars has grown since that little guitar.
I have 3. I have the 7-string, I have my 6-string, and then I have my one that I started from, which is a red Strat.
And when he's not in school, you'd be hard-pressed not to find him practicing.
There's a lot of different stuff. Bernard showed me, you know, scales, just practicing, not even playing anything specific. You don't have to be sound on. Figuring out hand motions, alternating picking.
Well, we alternate between those two. Back the hook.
As part of his classes at St. John's, Liam performs at various seasonal concerts.
Bernard has these seasonal concerts every year. They're really fun. A lot of the kids, we get to show off what we learned. You know, all the parents come. It's a good time.
It was great. We had a couple hundred people there, and Liam had a bunch of his family and stuff attend, and it's really wonderful.
And with all his skills he's gained from playing guitar, Bergenheyer says Fogarty is prepared for life after high school.
I think he's got a very bright future in college. Anything he puts his mind to, he's very committed with. Yeah, man.
If you'd like to learn how to play guitar, be sure to check out St. John's Art of Teaching online at www.stjohns.com. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Julie Savaggio.
Have a good weekend, Bernard.
Thank you, Liam. You too. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Thanks, Julie. And for more information on the St. John's Art of Teaching School in Canton, visit www.stjohns.com.
Now it's time to talk some sports, so let's send it over to our Mustang sports guy, Michael Curley.
What is up, Mustangs? Winter sports season is in full swing, and our team's been faring well so far in the Tri-Valley League. One team in particular has switched their season around completely and rebranded their program as co-ed. Mustang sports blogger Heather Gagliard takes us to the pool for this sports cover story.
The swim and dive season switched from fall to winter this year. Captain Michaela Jordan says that meant changing up the sports she plays.
Because it moved swim to the winter, I was able to play soccer this fall, which was something I really looked forward to because I had to give it up to swim when I went to high school. And it also moved swim to the winter, which kind of made me a little upset because I was supposed to do indoor track, but I had to pick one sport over the other.
Moving the seasons changed what sports some athletes could play. It also impacted the after-school activities that a few athletes were involved in.
I couldn't participate in the fall show like that NHS Drama puts on. So now that swim is a winter sport, I can do both a fall show with NHS Drama and a spring show. So I can do 2 shows a year along with my swim season.
Head coach Kate Curtin says that moving the season to winter did change some things, but according to her, it had a positive effect.
I think that's overall really improved our program. We went from having 18 student athletes in the 2017 season to now having 35 student athletes on the team for the winter 2018-2019 season.
For some swimmers, moving the season meant having to give up the sport altogether. Senior Aiden Mulligan has swam the 100-meter freestyle since freshman year. He says it was a difficult decision to leave.
Pretty hard to give up swim because the swim team is really a big family. Like, we had pasta dinners before every single meet, and before every practice we'd hang out because, you know, there'd be some time before the practice would start. But everybody was always super nice. You'd always hear people cheering you on, and I'll miss that.
And while Mulligan did end up switching to indoor track this year, overall, swimmers say the change in season did help add more diversity to the team.
It also opens up the team for more boys to join, because a lot of the times people see an all-girls team and don't feel inclined to join if they're boys.
With the TVL switch, we are now officially a co-ed team, and we're swimming against other co-ed teams, so it's definitely increased the level of competition for both boys and girls in the program.
The change in season coincides with a switch to a new league. After decades of being in the Bay State, Jordan says moving to the Tri-Valley is a new beginning for Nord Swim and Dive.
I like the change because it's enabled our swim team to grow, and we're really benefiting from more people being here, and we get to meet new people, and it also allowed me to play soccer and have a more competitive meets and games against people in the Tri-Valley.
Coach Curtin says the team is excited to build what feels like a new program, and they're all hoping together they can begin a new tradition of success.
From what we've seen so far, everyone's really working hard, and I think we're going to have a really successful season.
Mustangs are swimming until February 3rd with home meets at the Westwood High Pool and the Dedham Pool. Reporting from Mustang Magazine, I'm Heather Gagliard.
Thanks, Heather. December 21st was the last day of the official early signing period for college athletes. NHS had 2 senior athletes sign letters of intent. We recently interviewed them for the Mustang Sports Blog. Here's softball player Bryn Garzinski and swimmer Connor Miller in their own words.
I picked SNHU because they're a very good softball organization up there, and the softball team 100% is dedicated to the sport, and I want to be a part of a team that is 100% dedicated.
I chose Miami to sign with mostly because I found it to be a good fit with me. I looked at a lot of other programs, and I found that Miami was the most focused among all of them. Preparing to be a college athlete has definitely been something that I have really taken seriously. And I think the biggest thing I've done to prepare for it is really develop habits and try to prepare myself for the way college is going to be and the way college life is going to be.
Well, sometimes me and my sister go up to, there's a place where we practice for the drifters. We go up there's cages, so I just hit with her and I help her with her catching skills because she plays at Southern Hampshire too. And then she helps me with outfield stuff, so we just help each other out. Softball is taking so much of my life. I did not have a normal summer than everyone else. I was always playing softball, but overall in the end it worked out for me.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
The most difficult part about getting to where I'm going to be and getting to where I am now probably has been just training and keeping everything consistent. And that ranges from doing well in school and not having a lot of time to study at night to doing really hard training sessions and trying to develop good habits in turn, and I think all that has really paid off for me.
Where are your legs? Be sure to catch Connor and Bryn in action this year. Connor in the winter and Bryn in the spring. Check out the NHS Athletics website for all times for games and meets. Right now, it's time to talk winter sports, and for NHS, the king will always be hockey. So right now, back in the studio, we have U-State sports reporter Joe Spadorcia with 3-sport athlete Allie McDonough to break down a play on the ice. Joe?
Hey guys, I'm Joe Spadorcia here with this month's edition of U-Stang Sports. I'm here with Allie McDonough, who scored 4 goals against Dedham. Thanks for coming out, Allie. So let's take a look at this first play here. Maggie Kern's breaking in the puck. She comes over the blue line. She loses a little bit on that defensive play. She throws it out front. Stop it right here. What are you thinking right here?
Well, I knew the puck was loose and I wanted to get there before Dedham got there to put it top shelf and get a goal.
So let's watch the rest of that. So you're down 2-0 before that goal. It's now 2-1. What are you thinking? You thinking we can come back, or you thinking we're outplaying them?
I knew they definitely outplayed us in the first period, and I think we had to just pick up our game a little because we always have one bad period, so I just knew we needed to get that back.
Good play here. Good shot on net by Kaylee Reed. It somehow squirts all the way back out to the point. She takes another bomb. What are you thinking right there?
I knew the puck was loose and the goalie didn't have it, so I knew that I needed to dig for it because she was going to try and cover it.
All right, so let's take a look at that. Now it's 2-2. That's huge after being down 2-0 after 1. You have 2 goals now. Are you thinking hat trick, or are you thinking I'm still trying to win this game?
I'm thinking I'm trying to win this game, but really, if anyone scored, I'd be happy. I just wanted to win.
All right, so now it's 2-2. Break in there by you. That was a good shot on net. You come back around. Awesome camera work. and that's your third of the game. So, is that your first career hat trick, or is that like your 14th?
I've had a couple, but definitely a hat trick isn't something you see every day.
Yeah, it's always special. So they immediately come down tied up. Immediately after that, you make a good defensive play here. You see nobody in front of you. What are you thinking? Are you thinking move or are you thinking shot?
I'm thinking shot, because if the goalie's coming out towards me, I knew she was going to move with me, so I was just going to put it where she wasn't.
So let's take a look at that. That was a snipe. So you guys eventually skate to a 4-4 tie in Dedham on January 2nd. That was 2 days after you lost to Walpole on New Year's. And you guys ended up losing the next game to Westwood, and then you killed Shawsheen after that. So good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck to you and the rest of the team. That's all I have for this month. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Joe. Well, that's all I have today for sports. For more Mustang sports interviews, highlights, and breakdowns, be sure to check us out at ustangs.com. And also, don't forget to give our new sports podcast a Stampede to listen. It's on SoundCloud, also with a link on our website. Go Ustangs. Now back to the anchors.
Thanks, Michael. Sports are a huge part of a high school student's life, but they're not the only game in town.
Many students also invest their time in meaningful clubs and after-school activities. Recently, we caught up with the Art Honor Society members when they were designing holiday cards for sick children.
Tommy Dooley and Allie Gruber bring us the story.
The NHS Art Honor Society decided to do something to give back this holiday season.
You have so much, so I think that you should just give a little more, as some people can't afford to buy gifts and stuff. So make someone's holiday a really good one.
Sophomore Jordan Taylor is an officer in the club. She says they wanted to use their talents to spread some holiday cheer.
Just love doing art and making people happy with it, and just expressing myself through it.
The club created original holiday cards for sick children in the hospital.
These aren't kids who are just sick with the flu or with a really bad cold. These are kids with either cancer and other types of sicknesses, and they might not be a chance that they can get better.
The activity was coordinated through the nonprofit organization Cards for Kids. Art Honor Society advisor Lori Mead McGrory says there was a lot of positivity that came out of it.
Definitely help them, and I think that idea of giving back and doing something for someone else and getting to make something fun, right? This wasn't for an assignment, there was no pressure, it was just let's make some fun, exciting work for kids.
The Art Honor Society created more than a dozen cards to deliver to kids in the area hospitals. Everyone involved agreed the experience was worth the while.
I'm just really happy I got to make someone's holiday. I'm just happy I got to make someone happy.
The cards are hopefully going to brighten someone's day, and who doesn't feel good making someone else's day better?
If you'd like to help Cards for Kids, it's not just a holiday activity. Visit them online at www.cardsforhospitalizedkids.com. Reported from Mustang Magazine, I'm Tom Dooley.
Thanks, guys.
Well, the show is almost over, but before we go, we have one more segment for you.
Winter break is upon us, and the holiday movie season has already begun. So we sent our resident movie critic, Tim Rose, to give you a review of the new Aquaman blockbuster releasing this month.
Here he is now with the Mustang Movie Minute.
The Christmas season of 2018 is not just going to be full of festive spirit, but will also be filled with plenty of blockbuster films. Everything from Transformers prequels to the cinematic remastering of the classic Nutcracker Tale. However, one movie just might stand out among the rest. In the past, the DCEU has struggled to compare with the global success that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Every movie that they've made has somehow totally flopped with audiences. However, their new movie may just be a ray of hope for DC Comics. This is the Mustang Movie Minute review for Aquaman.
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.
Now when it comes to Aquaman, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was anything special. For a DC movie, I thought it was great, probably one of the best, and I was definitely entertained at certain parts throughout the film. But for the most part, as its own movie, I would say it's just about average. Now there were definitely some things that this movie did right. First off, I felt like the execution of the character was done surprisingly well. I mean, let's be honest, it's a weird concept to make a movie about a guy whose superpower is talking to fish when you put it down on paper. But when it came to life on screen, I was honestly impressed. They made Aquaman more of a tough surfer type who brings a lot of charisma to the screen, and his world took on a darker, more serious tone. Another thing this movie did right was some of its originality. Now, I'm not really talking about the storyline or anything, because honestly, that was your typical reluctant hero doesn't want to accept his destiny and become a leader, but eventually realizes that he has to in order to save the day. No, I'm talking about the originality and the major fight scenes and big moments in the movie. It was really cool to see such large-scale scenes in an entirely underwater atmosphere, something that very few movies have done in the past. The intense moments were well executed, and the characters involved all played important parts, so that was definitely a win for the film. However, like I said earlier, the plot and pace of the movie were all pretty generic, and I didn't really experience any jaw-dropping moments in the theater. And not only that, but the painful one-liners were just too much for me to handle, and I found myself cringing in my seat a lot throughout the 2.5-hour runtime.
Permission to come aboard.
I think these DC movies should stop trying to take a page out of Marvel's book when it comes to comedy, and they should really focus on emphasizing their own unique style. So overall, I would say that Aquaman has just enough action and originality to keep you interested, and plenty of cheesy one-liners to make sure that you're cringing too. So go out and see the movie this week, and let me know what you thought of it. Until next time, I'm Tim Rose, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, Tim. For more movie reviews, check out our links on Mustang.media.
Well, that's all we have for this December show. Thanks for watching Mustang Magazine.
And don't forget, you can always watch our content on our website or hit us up on social media. See you next time.
Bye. Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
Well, the show is almost over, but before we go, we have one more segment for you.
What's the difference?
Spring. Check out the NHS Athletics websites. It's only one website. It's only one website. Why am I saying two? Good? Okay. Hey, ready? Thanks, Joe. That's all I have for today. For more sports content, that's all I have. Oh, okay.